Cobb. What's up, fellas? I'm Bill Cobb. I am currently the Executive Director of Urban Angel Foundation. Prior to that, I was the Vice President of Sales and Marketing on the largest telemarketing company on the East Coast. During that time also, I was an outreach coordinator for Men United for a Better Philadelphia. And just prior to that, I finished doing 6.5 years in prison for robbery, kidnapping, criminal conspiracy, and violation of the Uniform Firearms Act. So I'm here today to show you that although we make some choices that have gotten us to places that we don't want to be, that if you do make an effort, it's possible. I am living and breathing truth that it's possible. The violence in the city of Philadelphia has to stop. We are the instigators of it, most likely to shoot someone or to be shot. You got to go back to your group, go back to your neighborhood, go back and tell your homies that they're not playing. I saw the fidgeting in the audience when the feds got up here and told you about them quarters they giving out. They real. I spent time in the day room with people that look just like y'all. The difference to me when I see a bunch of black men assembled like this, or that there's an absence of uniforms right now. I see that we got on different color clothing, but up in the joint it's all the same. It's a hurt piece, fellas. I only did 6.5 when I was 23, and I didn't have children. I didn't have a wife. I didn't have a great job. I wasn't a popular member of my community. I couldn't go where I wanted to go during that time. And I did 6.5 years in prison, and it was the hardest thing that I ever did. I cried every night, and I'm not lying to you. When the lights go out, and then you in the cell with your cellie, who's a complete stranger, and you got to go to the bathroom, it's a hurt piece. When your peoples come up to visit you and then they leave that visiting room and you don't want the food that they got in the cafeteria, and so you're trying to eat as many bags of chips or microwave sandwiches as you possibly can, it's a hurt piece, man. Ain't nothing popping about them prisons. Y'all already been identified by the feds. By the feds. Take it back to your group, because anything that somebody else does pertaining or relating to a shooting, you being held accountable for it. It's like growing up in that house with that grandmom that beat everybody when they did something. Now you like that with law enforcement right now. And they come in to get you for anything that you do. Once that happens, child support, traffic ticket. And then the thing that she didn't say is that they're not giving y'all no play neither. So you can't even roll over on your homie and get no rhythm. Take it back to your community. Take it back to your neighborhood and tell that they not playing no more. The gun play has to cease. I know it's hard. Trust me, I know it's hard. It's always going to be hard for us though. I'm that guy that grew up without a father. Didn't meet him till I was 38. I'm that dude that had a mother addicted to alcohol. I'm that kid that was in school that was teased, laughed at, and ridiculed. Life was hard then, and I'm telling you that it's not any easier now. But now I got power that I didn't have before. I make the choices that determine the outcomes in my life. Nobody does that for me anymore. But if you don't take this back to your neighborhood, if you don't cease and desist to carry them hammers and to put something up in people, other people are going to make choices for you for a significant longer time than they made for me. Significantly longer. I did 6.5. Y'all gonna be looking at quarters, 50s. I was upstate, and she's so right. It's hard for them to come visit you upstate, but you think with you in Oklahoma, Nebraska, California, Texas, somebody coming to see you? And even if they are, you're not leaving with them when they get there. Take this back to your hood, to your group, and tell them what it's hitting for today. Because your failure to do so, you're going to pay the consequence for it. And the reason is because you are the leaders. You are running it. You're on a list that you simply don't want to be on. Take it from somebody that's been there and done that. Go back to your neighborhood. Tell jokers what it's hitting for. The gun violence in the city of Philadelphia has to cease. I see things a little differently now as a father and as a husband, as a respected member of my community. Now I care about the neighborhood. Now I want my daughter to go outside and be able to play, but I'm fearful of it because I know that work getting put in. But I'm very, very, very blessed and fortunate to be able to talk to you today and to be able to see that the city of Philadelphia and federal agencies are coming together to address this problem that we've had to live with too long. You don't have to live like this, man. It's difficult, but there are going to be some things that are introduced to you where if you hard enough and if you could play with a little pain and perform under a little pressure, you can change your life. I know what it's like not to dream. I know everybody in here wanted to be in the NBA. And when you found out that you wasn't good enough, you stopped dreaming because it's so difficult and it's so hard. And nobody else is doing it. You're doing what everybody else is doing. I get that. The price you're going to pay for that is the rest of your natural life in prison. We are so powerful. I never thought that I would be leading an organization that has 8,000 virtual members, that if I call together an event, 600 to 700 people would show up, that I would travel in circles of the most affluent business leaders in the city of Philadelphia and beyond, and be able to call upon politicians, state, local, and other than that. I'm traveling in groups and circles that I never imagined, man, because I began to dream again. Dream, brothers. It's bigger than your block, man. It's bigger than your block. And you can do it. I know ain't nobody looking like us that's doing it. I look like you. I'm no different than you. But for the grace of God, there go I. Well, this is God's grace being exacted on your lives today, gentlemen. Take it back to your group. Take your hammer, get it to wherever it's supposed to go so that you're not using it. Tell everybody else that got a hammer, listen, for that gunplay, they're giving out some crazy numbers. And our lives are going to be extremely hard as a result of it. Put your hammers down, fellas. Go back and tell everybody else to put them heat down. Y'all going to do some serious time. And you're going to be living a completely different life than you're living today if you fail to make the choice to do so. I'm going to be here for a little bit. If you need to holler, you can holler. If you need to holler later, you can holler later. But by all means, put your hammers down, man. Go back and tell everybody in the hood to put their hammers down. You don't want the consequences that are going to rain down upon your heads in the event that you don't do so. Be smart, fellas.